Welcome to NIOS Studio. In this part 3 on electric current, we will discuss resistance and resistivity. Learning objective of this part will be, you should be able to understand dependence of resistance on length and area of conducting wires, resistivity and conductivity. How does resistance of a conducting wire depend on its length? To understand that, we can assemble a very simple circuit. First of all, I would like to explain that with the help of a schematic diagram. As you can see in this schematic diagram, we have a battery. The battery is connected to one part on rheostat. This is mainly to control the amount of current flowing through the circuit. The positive of the battery is connected to a milliammeter or ammeter, and the other part of ammeter is connected to the conducting wire. Similarly, the other part of rheostat is connected to the other part of the conducting wire. Now, to understand how this dependence on length of the conducting wire takes place, let us perform a simple experiment. Let us take a conducting wire of uniform cross section. We can consider different lengths of the same conducting wire, say L1, L2 and L3. We must ensure that the wires have same area of cross section, so preferably cut them from the same piece of wire. If we connect L1 between the points A and B and note down the current through the wire, we give it a name, supposing we call it I1. Now, similarly, you can perform the same experiment with lengths L2 and L3 one by one. Say the currents which flow through the circuit become I2 and I3 respectively. What do we see? We see that if L1 is less than L2 and L2 is less than L3, we are going to see that correspondingly I1 will be greater than I2 and I2 will be greater than I3. So, what does it infer? It infers that longer wires allow smaller currents to flow, and that means longer wires offer greater resistance. Mathematically, we can represent this fact by saying that R is proportional to L. So, let me guide you to the experimental setup. As you can see, we have a battery here. This is the rheostat that will control the amount of current flowing through the circuit. This is the milliammeter which will measure the current flowing through the circuit, and this is the wire that we are talking about. Now, depending on how much length of the wire I use, we can see correspondingly how much of the current will flow through the circuit. So, let me connect the circuit and show you how much of the current is flowing through the circuit if I choose a smaller length of wire, right? Now, I am connecting it. I am using about 6-7 centimeter of the conducting wire, and this has caused about 33 milliamperes of current flowing through the milliammeter, right? Now, I am going to increase the length of the wire and see what happens to the current. Now, before I do that, let me just point out something. This conducting wire is actually made of constantan. It is a low resistance wire, so I need actually a larger length to make a substantial difference in the current. Here I am using now a longer wire. I am using a longer wire, and you can see the current has decreased to 30 milliamperes. So, what do we see? We see that if you use longer wire means high resistance. High resistance means lower amount of current. So, we have experimentally seen this, that if you increase the length, you are going to get a smaller value of current flowing through the circuit. We can also analyze this result by plotting a graph between length and current. That means measure the current corresponding to different lengths and then plot a graph between length and current. Again, you can see here is a graph which is plotted as 1 upon L versus I. Higher value of length means basically smaller reading on x-axis. You can see that if you have a longer length, it corresponds to smaller current. If length is larger, then it is smaller current. But if it is smaller, then current is larger. So, basically we are talking about the same thing in terms of a graph plotted between I versus 1 upon L. Now, next we would like to understand the dependence of resistance on cross-sectional area of the conducting wire. So, we can again work with the same experimental setup. Now you are going to connect a wire of different cross sectional area. What it means is different diameters across the points A and B. What do we need to do? We are going to take a wire of same length. Now here length is fixed and of course you have to keep the same material. But now you will cut wires of different diameters and hence different cross sectional areas. Say A1, A2 and A3. Again perform the experiment. Note down the currents. Let us call them again I1, I2 and I3. So what do we find? That if A1 is less than A2 and A2 is less than A3, it means wire number 1 is thinner in comparison to wire number 3. Okay? And if we perform the experiment, what do we find is that I1 will be less than I2 and I2 will be less than I3. So how do we basically interpret this result? We'll say that wires of greater cross sectional area allows greater current to flow, or in other words, wires of larger area of cross section offers smaller resistance. Mathematically, we can write this fact as R is proportional to L upon A. If we plot a graph between area of cross section and current, then we will find that there is a direct proportionality. As A increases, I increases. You can see this in this graph also. As A increases, I is increasing. It is very much a linear plot between the two physical quantities. If we combine the two results, we can see that R is proportional to L upon A, directly proportional to the length and inversely proportional to the area of cross section. Now you can write this in a better mathematical form by writing that R is equal to rho L upon A. What is rho? Rho is a constant for a given material at a constant temperature. It is called specific resistance or resistivity of the material. We can rearrange these terms. We can take everything else to the other side and you can get an expression that rho is equal to R A upon L. Now this gives you actually a formula for obtaining the specific resistance or resistivity of any material. How? We can put L is equal to 1, say 1 meter in SI units, and we can put A is equal to 1 meter square. If A is 1, L is 1, what do you find? That rho is equal to R, right? So rho is equal to R and the unit of rho will be ohm meter. So resistivity of a material is nothing but the resistance offered by a wire of that material of length 1 meter and area of cross section 1 meter square. Unit of resistivity is ohm meter. Now resistivity depends only on the nature of material and does not depend on the dimensions of the material. Whereas resistance of the conductor depends not only on the dimensions, it also depends on the nature. If you change the dimensions of the conducting wire, its resistance will change, but resistivity will not change. Now, it is also possible to define another physical parameter correspondingly, and that is called conductivity. What is conductivity? Reciprocal of resistivity is called conductivity of a material. It is also called specific conductance and we use sigma to denote it. So what is sigma? Sigma is equal to 1 upon rho. Unit of conductivity is obviously the inverse of unit of resistivity. So unit of conductivity is ohm inverse into meter inverse. We can also call it mho meter inverse. What have we learnt in this section? We have learnt how resistance depends on length and area of a conducting wire, what is meant by resistivity and conductivity of a conducting wire. Thank you.